Greetings and welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, episode number 16. You are used to seeing my co-host Benton starting off the show, but it's me this week, Junior, and we have Benton online as well. Come on is on vacation, and I think she needs a vacation after what happened this weekend. So Benton, family, what go on, brother? Merry Christmas to you and the family.
Respects. Likewise, Merry Christmas to you and the family. Festive football, family. How are you doing? How you enjoy your sorrel and rum punch, Bridget?
Why I never drink any sorrel, you know, and I never drink any rum punch, and I think it's because I'm feeling a little bit better about Manchester United, so I'm good.
Yeah, but it was a great week of football. If you're a fan of the sport, you don't know it was a wonderful week to watch games, a lot of games, unless you're a Chelsea fan. Yeah. Come on, how are you, family? Come on, hi, Junior.
Why, come on is MIA right now, but understandable. But
I understand.
We're going to kick off the show this week. I'm going to be the only one on video, and we're going to start off with some news off the field. I can't say it's off the field news. PSG made their big massacre move on Christmas Eve, relieving Mr. Thomas Tuchel of his duties. Before we go into ballers and bugs, Benton, because we normally start with ballers and bugs, where we highlight the best players of the week, and those are the ballers, and the bugs being the worst players of the week. We're going to also talk about Thomas Tuchel. We're going to talk about the games on the field. So, at first, you know what? Let's maintain it, Benton. Let's maintain it. Ballers of the week. Who is your baller of the week? The most impressive player for you?
So you don't want to start with Thomas Tuchel?
No, let's wait. Let's wait because I feel Thomas Tuchel it's going to be a lot of fire coming out.
All right, my ball of the week, most impressive player. I was very impressed with Arsenal. Geraldo Hierro, Reggie, Sean White. Even though I know you disband or stop your support for Arsenal, I want to big up the Arsenal nation. Because Arsenal defeated Chelsea 3-1. Gabriel Martinelli, was good to see him back on the field. Good to see Saka also doing exceptional things or wonderful things for Arsenal. So Arsenal get a ball of the week for me. And I have to give also a ball of the week to Big Sam and West Bromwich Albion. I mean, to pick up a point from the mighty Liverpool is impressive. Yeah. So the Big Sam effect is Big Sam is making an impact already. You have to park a bus, park a van, park a train. So ball of the week for me to West Brom and to Arsenal. Impressive.
Right, so West Brom and Arsenal is your ball of the week. West Brom definitely is my ball of the week. Again, Big Sam. I think this was the best week for Big Sam to start his tenure as coach. Playing against the number one team in England, number one team in Europe for many people is concerned, and getting these boys to perform the way they do. So definitely Big Sam. I tied with giving it to Arsenal, but I'm going to save my response for another part of the show. So I'm not going to give Arsenal, but I also have to give it to Wolves. Wolves battled back and earned a draw against Tottenham in the dying embers of the game, where Tottenham was up 1-0. I'm tying with giving Tottenham bug of the week, but we cannot overlook what Wolves is doing with the injuries, losing players in the transfer market, and still finding ways to get it done. So I definitely have to give it to Wolves. And I also have to give it to Leeds. Leeds 1-0. It's a different type of win, in my opinion. Leeds is showing growth under Bielsa. We've seen where teams start hot and then you get a couple losses here and there and we see them fall to the wayside, but Leeds seem to be right in the ship, even though it's against lesser competition, but still I have to give it to Leeds. So those are the ballers of the week. Family, if you're listening right now, you're watching online, please let us know who's your ballers and bug of the week. But Benton, we'll move from ballers of the week. Let's go to the bugs of the week. Who is your bug of the week?
The big bug of the week is Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard, Chelsea lost to Arsenal. Arsenal, as Dalton would say. How are you going to lose to Arsenal? Probably worst team in the EPL in this stretch of games. But Frank Lampard gets the bug of the week for a couple of reasons. Playing Timo Werner on the left, even though Timo Werner is having a bad stretch right now, and putting Christian Pulisic on the right. Come on. In life, if you have a player who's struggling, you don't compromise your quality player, you're one of your most effective player to get this player who's struggling going. And I thought that was a bug move by Frank Lampard. And also another reason why he's getting the bug of the week for calling his players lazy or the display lazy at the first half display. That stops with Frank Lampard. There's no way his team's supposed to show up lazy in a big match. It reminds me of last year when they lost the Bournemouth and he went off, about his team just not stepping up. So Frank Lampard, you have to figure this out. He gets a bug of the week, and for throwing his players on the bus, calling them lazy, playing Timo Werner consistently. I continue to play Timo Werner, and bug of the week. Also, I want to give a bug of the week to all these people who keep advocating for Lionel Messi to leave Barcelona. Hold the corner, okay? You guys get a bug of the week. Barcelona is Lionel Messi and Lionel Messi is Barcelona. So you guys stop the press. Not because Pochettino is at PSG means that Lionel Messi will be there. So just calm down.
Well,
bug of the week for you guys.
We'll soon get to that, boy. People, 2020 is bad. When in Christmas week, Benton is playing the role of the Grinch. Normally we'll leave that for Cameron, but Benton is throwing cold water on all the PSG fans the world over that's watching right now. We're going to get to that in a minute. Benton, I don't know why. You don't like French food, you don't like French baguettes. Why are you fighting out the French people? We'll soon talk about that. But definitely, my bug of the week definitely goes to Chelsea. It goes to Arsenal too. I give it to both teams, and this is why. For me personally, I picked these two teams to be the main challengers to Liverpool this year, right? So they're not living up to that expectation. So I give myself bug of the week for picking these two idiot sides. But Arsenal and their fans should not take yesterday's performance and think that they have turned the corner. The question should be, why didn't this performance show up earlier in the season? What is wrong in Arsenal? So, yes, you feel good that you destroyed Chelsea. But the question should be asked, why we're showing up like this now and what happened the last couple of weeks in the season? Ask Lampard, Chelsea, I don't know what the hell is going on at Chelsea. I think Lampard still feel like he's in his honeymoon period, where the reality is that's not the case. And Cameron has been saying Lampard out since he got the job. And Cameron might be ringing those bells louder. So definitely Chelsea and Arsenal, my bugs of the week. Arsenal because they're not playing to their expectation and showing glimpses. And Chelsea because they're just bugs. And I also going to give it to PSG for what they did to Mr. Thomas Tuchel. You can't fire the man on Christmas Eve in a pandemic season. No, brother. That don't sit well with me. PSG get my bug of the week. Why fire Tuchel now? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You think Pochettino is going to come in and he's going to win the Champions League this year? I mean, come on.
Why not?
Well,
that's the idea.
That's the bugs of the week. Let's move into that topic. So, Benton, you asked me why not. I am the host of the show today. I am going to ask you why.
Because he's been on borrowed time. He has 6 months left remaining in his contract. His contract officially will end in the summer of 2021. Leonardo does not necessarily like Thomas Tuchel, or he's not a fan of Thomas Tuchel. Leonardo, the president of PSG when he took over. Last year, Thomas Tuchel whined and complained that he needs another center-back. Leonardo disagreed. Leonardo got a holding midfielder. Thomas Tuchel, I think, played the holding midfielder in a center-back position sometime to piss off or ticked off Leonardo. So he was on borrowed time. You don't go to this PSG team to win the French league. They're currently sitting, third or fourth in the French league. I know it's by a couple of points. but this is PSG, okay? They're not supposed to be second or third in the French league at Christmas. They're supposed to be leading, and they don't hire any manager to win the French league. Thomas Tuchel had to get fired. Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, New Year's, it doesn't matter. Bring in Pochettino.
Now, this feels a lot to me like Avram Grant. It feels a lot to me like what's his name? Della Pay. What's his name? The guy that coached Chelsea as well. Della Pay or something like that.
Coach who?
Chelsea.
Andres Villas-Boas.
No, not that idiot. But it feels like Avram Grant. I mean,
okay.
PSG couple weeks ago lost to Bayern Munich in the Champions League final in a game that nobody expected PSG to win. Let's just be fair. Let's be honest. We did not think PSG was beating Bayern Munich in that final, right? And a couple weeks later, not a couple months later, you fired a coach that brought it to the Champions League final. You ask me why not. My answer to why not is I think Tuchel taking that PSG team to the finals in a pandemic year, yes. That should have given him some cachet. If that didn't give him any cachet to at least get the season, why not fire him at the start of the season? Is it because it's going to look bad that you fired a coach that just brought it to the Champions League final? So is it that Leonardo was waiting for the team to look like they are at risk of losing the league, that they're going to take a chance to fire him? It just don't sit well with me. And you do it on Christmas Eve. You do it with
I think they probably would have fired him a long time ago. I think that Leonardo decided to make this move now because they must have sorted things out with Pochettino. It was between Pochettino and Allegri to take over this team.
Right.
Pochettino, as a former captain of PSG, and he speaks the language. I mean, the January transfer window is coming around the corner. You get rid of him. I mean, there was a lot of talk about other clubs being interested in Pochettino, during the summertime. So I envision that Leonardo may have felt that the price may have been driven up, but the cost of hiring him may have gone up. But I felt all along it's Pochettino's job. Maybe maybe this wasn't his number one job, but fire him. I mean, now he can start the task of getting his squad together, getting things together. And who knows? I think there's a part of this where it's trying to maybe motivate the move to try to go after Lionel Messi in summer.
All right. So, and big up to Damian Tomlinson. Damian, let me just check the chat real quick. Big up to Damian Tomlinson. Damian said Chelsea is definitely Lampard and Chelsea bug of the week. He should have said so. Damian is saying Chelsea is definitely Lampard. Chelsea and Lampard is definitely his bug of the week. All the listeners that are out there watching right now, what do you think about the hiring of Pochettino at PSG and the firing of Thomas Tuchel at PSG? So Benton, forecast PSG season, where they are right now. Looking at where they are, and you said nobody gets hired at PSG to win only the league title.
Yes.
If Pochettino doesn't win the Champions League this year, is it a failure for Pochettino?
No, it's not. Will be a few months in, ultimately. So there are a couple of things that also I think is at play here. PSG at some point is going to have to restructure financially.
Right.
And there won't be a lot of money available to rebuild, so to speak. And Pochettino have a wealth of experience with that sort of management style, coming from Spurs where money was very limited. So he's not only the right man for now in terms of trying to win the big Ears trophy, but in a few years when they decide to try to, move to this transition to more stabilizing financially, he's probably the right man for the job. Now, I have a lot of questions about Pochettino personally, but I mean, I am not surprised with the fact that they've moved on from Tuchel and looking to announce Pochettino in the coming week.
True. Well, all right. I'm not going to play devil's advocate. I think Tuchel should have never started last season as PSG manager. Personally, I think this firing is a year and a half too late, and I think with the pandemic and with them reaching the finals, that was a fly in the ointment for the plans for the PSG hierarchy, where I think they wanted to get rid of him from the end of last season, but they couldn't do it on the heels of making it to the Champions League final. So it was a bad look. But Pochettino, for me, how is he any different? Like, if you were to talk to a PSG fan right now, and you were to comfort them or to give them confidence to say, this is the right hiring, how can you explain to a PSG fan that you're moving on from Thomas Tuchel, who has won trophies, regardless of where the trophies are, he has won trophies. And you've brought in Pochettino, whose trophy cabinet is bare, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you market him as one who is in tune to the fabric of that club. I mean, he's been at that club. He spent time at the club. He's a captain. He was a former captain of the club. So he knows that club inside and out. The questions about trophy, yes, that's a big question mark over him. But in terms of the available managers that are out there, he's probably the most attractive manager out in the coaching landscape.
Over Allegri.
So along with Allegri. So that is where I will go. And the style of football that one envisioned that he will play is that he will play this more up-tempo sort of pressing football. Now the question is, will Neymar and Mbappe and these guys buy into that? Right. But one thing is certain is that Pochettino will come in and demand and enforce certain things into that locker room, because I don't necessarily think Thomas Tuchel had the locker room. I mean, it seems like sometimes the players, ran the ship.
Right.
And also another thing to point out is that they flirted with elimination from the Champions League this year.
True.
They almost got kicked out of the Champions League this year. So I mean, he took them to the final last year, and then this year them almost get kicked out. So wagwan, Brechin. So I think Leonardo had enough.
True. We're talking on Balcha Podcast about Thomas Tuchel firing from PSG. Hit the like button right now. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page. If you like the conversation, join the conversation live. We're talking. Let us know, what do you think about the firing of Thomas Tuchel and the hiring of Mr. Pochettino? So, Benton.
We probably should say potential hiring, since he is not officially.
Well, it's not.
They haven't officially announced it yet, but I mean.
But it's one of the worst kept secrets.
Yes.
It's not like Manchester United job's going to be open tomorrow, which Pochettino rumored to want, and he's going to say, "Hey, PSG, we're not about to do that now."
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you think him going to PSG, Pochettino, that is potentially moving to PSG, how does that impact Lionel Messi and with this saga at Barcelona?
Well,
if anything,
that question should be asked of you, because you are the Messi. You are the Messiites. You represent the Messiites on the show. You are covered. But for me, I don't think PSG is the right fit for Messi. And Messi don't have the time left in his career to wait for PSG to be the right fit. I mean, you have Lyon out there, you have Marseille that is out there they're not at PSG's quality. But you have teams in their own backyards that is competing and growing, right? For PSG to absorb Leo Messi right now, they have to rebuild that team. And for me, Lionel Messi is just like Cristiano Ronaldo at this stage of their career. They are the icing on the top of the cake. You cannot put the icing on the cake if the cake isn't made as yet. And I don't think PSG is built for Messi. I think PSG is built for some business house footballers, i.e. Neymar and Mbappe seem to fall into that trap right now. But if you put Messi around that team, I don't think it will function. So you have to clean house. before you bring in Messi. And that to me would take 2 to 3 transfer windows, including January.
Oh, I
What do you
mean,
think?
I personally think that the landscape is set for, if Pochettino and PSG want to make a move to bring him in, because they have ties from Newell's Old Boys Club in Argentina, and I think it was also rumored that Messi was advocating for Pochettino to
Barca.
join the coaching setup at Barcelona at one point.
Yeah.
So they do seem to have some sort of a relationship. Now, as it pertains to the team at PSG, so they have a lot of maybe local ballers we need to shake off. I mean, Icardi probably needs to go a road. But that is where Pochettino comes in. He's probably going to offload some of these players and then essentially set the team the way he would like to.
Right.
It's more of a complete product than a Man City in terms of trying to win a Champions League. And I think for Lionel Messi, at this stage of his career, it's all about trying to win Champions League.
Right.
And that the impact of that decision will also be heavily influenced, or that decision will be heavily influenced by the election of the Barca president, because whosoever win that election to lead Barcelona will have a decision. Should I go and try to renegotiate Lionel Messi, and at what price can I continue to pay Messi? So I know he's doing interview with La Seta as a magazine and in Argentina, and a magazine out there, and he over this Christmas period, and he's spoken highly about Barcelona. So I don't know if this is a farewell tour. I don't know what exactly this is, but that election and with Pochettino at potentially moving to PSG will have a lot of influence. But Mbappe is also the elephant in the room too, because I know Madrid is also interested in Mbappe. So what do you do? Mbappe didn't sign an extension. I mean, what do you do?
Well, Mbappe, could it be that's the reason why Tuchel is no longer at PSG, because Mbappe probably put his foot down and said, "Look, I ain't not playing for this coach anymore."
It could be. It could be.
So, but when Pochettino comes in now, and Mbappe gets re-energized, refocused, and say, "All right, Poch, I'll work with you."
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be.
But what if Pochettino now come in and say, "No, but Messi," which is rumored, I didn't hear it come out of his mouth, but I see reports out there saying that Messi is high on Pochettino's wish list. So if Mbappe wants to play for PSG, because we know Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi cannot play on the same team. That the wages is just going to be astronomical. You'll have to bring in the under 12 goalkeeper to come keep for your side. You have to bring the groundsman to come play defense. So they can't absorb those 3 contracts. So I'm gonna put the ball in your court. If you are Pochettino elect, and you have to make that decision where you can pick 2 of the 3 players, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Who is the 2 players that's like too easy of a question. Who is the focal point that you pick, and who is the second player you're going to tell you can stay, but we have to renegotiate a contract, and who is the third player you're going to kick out of that threesome?
I mean, I think there are too many factors influencing that answer. I mean, if Mbappe is hell bent on going to Real Madrid, then you said, all right, make him go on. If Lionel Messi is hell bent on saying, I want to win Champions League, then I said, all right, Messi forward, and you and Neymar is what we want to focus on, winning a Champions League. But there are too many factors for me to say. They're all 3 exceptional footballers, and you at the end of the other week, on any given Sunday, you would support or pick any one of them. I know for Mbappe's situation, it would be nice to have the young blood of the future, because from a marketing, from a future outlook standpoint, Mbappe is where it's at. I mean, his upside, his outlook is enormous, whereas Messi and Neymar, they have hit their peaks, and Messi especially is now on the other side of that peak. But there are too many variables to really kind of really say which exactly one of those I would pick.
Well, I will make the talk for you. I am keeping Mbappe, who is 22 years old. I'm telling Messi, who is 33, brother, stay a Spain. And I'm telling Neymar, so look, we're going to renegotiate a contract. I don't know specifically if they can put clauses in the contract for professional soccer players, football players, for injuries and timing of injuries. I mean, I said, brother, this is a new regime. It's not Tuchel anymore. If you want to stay here, you can't get injured around carnival time. You can't get injured around Christmas time. You have to play. That's me. That's what I would do. But we will see. We will see. And I foresee that there's going to be more dominoes to fall with this Tuchel firing. I can foresee that. So
yeah, because I envision Icardi is probably gonna go. I
Yep.
mean, he's never fit with Tuchel. I don't know if he's gonna fit with Pochettino. The Moises Kean deal from Everton is a temporary, is a loan deal. So I don't know. I guess he might gone back Everton. There are a lot of, what do you do with Marco Verratti? Do you lock him up more for a longer term? You know,
Di
Ander
Maria.
Herrera, what you do? You dash him away?
Of course.
There are a lot of there are a lot of things, you know. But Leonardo being in charge wants to win Champions League. So I mean, it will be interesting to see.
So PSG right now sitting third on 35 points. They're just trailing by 1 point. Lyon and Lille are leading in the league by they're on 36 points. But PSG has a superior goal difference of plus 29. So we will see.
but I will say, Junior, one thing I will definitely say is that, you know, I am curious to see what Pochettino does. I know the fanboys and fangirls in the Pochettino club always advocated that he never got the resources that he needed to really become great.
Right.
You know, he never got the money, he never got the players, etc., at Spurs or wherever he used to coach, Espanyol or Southampton. So now here he is. He's getting the resources, he's getting the fancy players, and getting the name brand players. Pochettino, can you become a great manager now? Because I'm very curious. Will those inconsistencies that we saw with Spurs continue with this Pochettino-led PSG outfit? Because 1 week they defeated big team, and next week they lost to Norwich. So let's see what will happen. So I know you're the president of the Pochettino fan club.
Well, I was a former president, but since he's not coming to Manchester United anymore, the blinders are off, and I'm gonna say this. No, I can coach PSG in League One and win the title, so it's not that big of a deal. I think his measuring stick is going to be in the Champions League, and he has a very tall task because the coach that was fired before you took that team to the finals and lost. Only way you can beat that coach and prove that your hiring was great is by winning the Champions League. So we will see. We will see. They will get their chance, and we will see what comes up next. But before we switch gears to the games on the field, we're at the halfway point of the season for many, quote unquote halfway point for many of these leagues. In the Italian Serie A, Benton,
Yeah.
AC Milan is at the top on 34 points. Inter is second on 33. The big bad Juve is on sixth with 24 points. What has been the most shocking part of 2020 for you in AC for Italian Serie A?
It's AC Milan. It's hands down. I talked to big up Fabian, who's a huge fan of the Rossoneri near Red and Black for life. Him always I speak to him frequently, and I don't know what obia they're working at AC Milan, or which 1 cent man or voodoo priestess they have working in their corner. It makes no sense how AC Milan is leading the Serie A. I mean, so they finding ways to win games and tie games. They drew recently with Lazio when you thought they were going to lose, with Theo Hernandez scoring at the death. I mean, I don't. It doesn't make any sense. That the man who has scored the goal for them is 90 years old. It makes no sense. So I picked Inter Milan to win at the beginning of the season, and I'm sticking with that prediction. Yes, I'm crazy. I figured now Inter Milan doesn't have any European pressure. They play in Europa League, and at some point they will get knocked out, and they have to win this Serie A this year. And Andrea Pirlo is just an experiment. But AC Milan, they did finish the year strong with Pioli, but I did not expect this. So whatever AC Milan is doing, they have to continue. I expect at some point once they lose a game, the shoe will fall off. But they're the only unbeaten team across the top 5 league in Europe.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Yes. They're the only unbeaten team in the top 5 leagues in Europe. Big up AC Milan. Big up Michael Ace. Michael Ace saying the league is tight. Which league, Michael? Because all of these leagues are tight. But we'll soon reach the tightest of them all. We'll soon reach that. So Benta, real quick, in Syria, in the Bundesliga, is it status quo for you, or do you see alarm bells going off for Bayern Munich? We're at the halfway point. Do you see alarm bells going off going to the Christmas break for Bayern Munich, or is it status quo?
Bundesliga. I mean, Bayern Munich will eventually win. It's business as usual. What I'm more curious about for Bundesliga is how the RB Leipzig and the Borussia Mönchengladbach can push them, and for how far. And most interestingly, I'm curious to see what becomes of Leroy Sané, because he's at a crossroad in his career, and he either had to step up or step back, because he's too talented a player to getting sub at 36 minutes, or it's just baffling to what's going on with him.
Right.
But for the Bundesliga and Bayer Leverkusen, that's another shocker. Peter Bosz and Leon Bailey and Bayer Leverkusen, they're overachieving. So I expect come January, come February, everything's return to normal. Bayer Leverkusen will return to 4th place, like where they belong.
All right. So in La Liga, Atletico Madrid, Chulo is at the top, 32 points, tied with Real Madrid, but they're up on goal difference by +8. Apart from Barcelona being Barcelona right now, what is the most shocking thing for you so far going into the Christmas break for La Liga?
It's a Real Sociedad. What David Silva, and it's not just David Silva alone, but it's David Silva heavily influenced. How one player and just a couple players adding to this Real Sociedad outfit made a team better. And it kind of connects to what exactly is happening to Manchester City. Mm-hmm. You take away David Silva, the player who used to unlock defenses, especially park the bus defenses, and you put him into in a Real Sociedad which playing free-flowing, still creative football. And I'm just really been shocked. I don't expect them to finish in any other Champions League spot.
Right.
But they've been a surprise, because now the other teams around them noticed that. They lost to Atletico Madrid this week. And of course Zidane, who knows, Zidane might get fired before March.
Calm down. The anti-Real Madrid sentiment, boy, coming from a Barcelona guy, what more should we expect? But let's be honest now. Real Sociedad has played 16 games. They are on 26 points. Atletico Madrid leads the league. They've played 13 games. They have 32 points. Real Madrid has played 15 games. They're on 32 points. So Real Madrid has 1 game in hand on Real Sociedad, and Atletico Madrid has 3 games in hand on Real. So the reality is, it was nice. It's a nice story. You guys are top of the league, but the big boys are coming out. Once the games get caught up, we know that it's going to be Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and then Real Sociedad, and then probably Villarreal, then Sevilla, and then maybe Barcelona. That's how it's going to shake out, right?
Oh, calm down. I mean, Ronald Koeman might get sacked soon. when we get good leadership at Barcelona president, and then Barcelona will retake its rightful place at the top of the summit. But also in La Liga, Julian Lopetegui, Sevilla. If you remember Lopetegui being, at the manager for Spain, right, going into the World Cup, got sacked because he took Real Madrid's job,
Right.
and now he also got fired from Real Madrid. So it was curious to see what he will do with this Sevilla team. And they started out hot, but now they've been found out, and it seems like Julian Lopetegui is not as good as manager as we thought he was.
All right. So, but look at Villarreal, right?
Well, Arsenal old manager.
Unai Emery. And we're going to transition into the game that everybody wants us to talk about. But we it's Christmas break. It's an unorthodox show today. The insane people are leading the asylum right now, which is me, the patient. Benton is not the host today because of the Christmas break. So we just change the show forward. We do our own thing today. So Benton, you're just on the ride right now. But Unai Emery, Villarreal, he has them flying. Arsenal got rid of Unai Emery, and look at what he's doing right now, Villarreal. Is it a smoke screen? Is it for real? Are we seeing the real Unai Emery right now, or will the Arsenal Unai Emery eventually show up in La Liga?
All right. So Unai Emery, it depends on what are these teams' aspirational goals. Unai Emery was a good mid-table manager. We saw it with Sevilla. They won Europa League. Arsenal has higher aspirations, Big. They want to win Champions League. They want to win Premier League. Unai Emery was not going to win Champions League and Premier League with Arsenal, okay? And he's not going to win La Liga with Villarreal. What he will do with Villarreal, he will make them competitive. They will qualify for Europa League. Who knows? 2 years down the road, they will probably win Europa League title. That's what you get, because that's what he did at Sevilla. We used to make this running joke that Sevilla and Unai Emery used to deliberately get knocked out of Champions League they can compete to win Europa League, because he's a Europa League coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great job at PSG. Remember before Tuchel got there, he was the man, and he couldn't handle it. So I don't expect him to make Villarreal world beaters. Okay, he's a mid-table manager. So Arsenal family, it's good that you have Arteta at the wheel.
So let's transition to the English Premier League. And it's the festive season, the Christmas break. Other leagues take breaks while the English Premier League go into a high octane schedule. And the game of the week this week was Arsenal versus Chelsea. And you said Arteta is at the wheel. How is that Arsenal vehicle right now if Arteta is still at the wheel? Do they still have wheels on that car, or is friction catching up to them?
They have wheels on the car. I think you beat. They probably need to check Chelsea wheel, and find out if if the tires need replaced at Chelsea or something. the fact that they can summon, he can summon a victory against title contenders Chelsea. I mean, this is the 222 million pounds spent in Chelsea in the summer, And what did Arsenal did and Mikel Arteta did yesterday? He went with Gabriel Martinelli. He went with Rowe. He went with Saka. He went with the kids. There was no Abanian. There was no fancy, slow, lazy Willian. Oh, sorry, Willian. And the Willian fan. There was no Gabriel. So he went with the kids. And shockingly, the kids resoundingly defeat the big money side. So, I mean, I said this last week or a couple weeks ago to come on. The Chelsea fan are doing our discussions. I said this. Arsenal, if Mikel Arteta is your manager, he's never had a coaching job before. You're going to go through some growing pains. But if he is truly the man, you have to back him. And he's giving you a result. I mean, that's a big result.
So you think, are you saying then that Arsenal beat Chelsea instead of Chelsea lost to Arsenal? And understand the context of the question. Are you saying
Arsenal beat Chelsea? It's not that Chelsea lost to Arsenal. Arsenal beat Chelsea, okay?
Right. I honestly think the Chelsea players, they read the newspapers, they saw all the memes that were going around about Arsenal, and seeing all the memes about teams lining up, waiting to play Arsenal. We can't wait to play Arsenal. I think they sleptwalk. I really do. I think they sleepwalk that whole game. I think Lampard's demeanor. Lampard, I'm seeing what I'm seeing in Lampard. I see in Ole. I see it in my boy at Juventus. I'm seeing a coach who is trying to not be a player on the sideline and trying to find that balance. Arteta got the tutelage from the master himself in Pep Guardiola, who is still one of the best coaches in the world right now, regardless of recent results. But I think Arteta learned to be a coach. And I think the growing pains that we see Arsenal going through with under Arteta is the necessary growing pains because the team is just not that good. But with Chelsea, with Juventus, with all of these teams that have player coaches, I think the new coaches are still trying to find their way to coach a team without coming off like a player, if that makes sense. So I think in a game where the players are not up for it, this is where a coach earns his money and motivate the players. I don't think Lampard knows how to motivate the team. I really don't. I don't think Lampard knows how to prepare Timo Werner for what the Premier League has to offer him. And the biggest example for me, or the biggest point, is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz should be Frank Lampard at Chelsea. That he should be what Lampard was. And if there's anybody out there that's supposed to can tell him who Lampard is, Frank Lampard. And the fact that Kai Havertz is struggling at Chelsea in a midfield that you have Kante behind you, that let me question your coach. Because surely, if it's one thing Lampard should be able to coach, is how to be a good attacking midfielder. So I think Chelsea is, and we all agree and we all say this, Chelsea is going to be weighed down by Lampard. Where Lampard goes, that's where Chelsea goes. Where Arsenal goes, or where Arteta goes, that's where Arsenal goes. I think Arsenal has a bigger upside. They just need a clean house. I think Chelsea, Lampard has to mature, or he's going to be another Ole. I really do.
Well, I mean, and so this is essentially what you take with a manager, right? You take a gamble on these former players. You know, we saw with Pep Guardiola when Barcelona took a gamble on him, but they knew what he was because they saw that he managed the Barca B team. You know, Frank Lampard did quite well with Derby County. So, you know, there's this idea that, you know, there's this potential there. Now, what Frank Lampard, and I think I said it, big up to Candy, CFC, Candy Love Chelsea, big up yourself, family. And I said this on her show, is that Lampard has now gotten the pieces that he wanted, so to speak. Now Lampard has to become a winner with these pieces. And it's not everyone who's a manager can then translate taking those pieces and make them into winners. And the mere fact that this is year 2 of this chance Lampard experience, he's done quite well. He's won a lot of games. Mm-hmm. But what his team needs to become is the surgical, no-nonsense, hungry, win-a-rampant boys sort of team, game in and game out. And I gave him a pass last year after the Bournemouth loss. He was very upset when, you know, Eddie Howe team defeated him at Stamford Bridge, and he was very upset in the press conference. And I said, okay, yes, he's a first-year manager. He's learned. But to lose to bug Arsenal, this is a wounded lamb. And yes, Arsenal has more to fight, but this is where you kick out Arsenal belly and tell them, say, you're brethren, you're not ready. You are absolutely beneath me. And I thought they lacked that surgical killer instinct. And he's going to have to figure out a way to instill that in himself, because I feel inside.
Yeah, but then the key point that you said is that he has the pieces that he wanted, right? No, that is a key statement. He has the pieces that he wanted. We're talking about Frank Lampard at Chelsea. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel if you're watching right now. Hit the subscribe button. We're watching Ball Chat Podcast. But we're talking about Frank Lampard at Chelsea. And Benton, you just said he has the pieces that he wanted. Now, a great coach to me knows the pieces that he wants. He can identify the characteristics of the pieces that he wants. When I watch Chelsea play, I struggle with trying to understand who Chelsea is. When I look at that team, if I have N'Golo Kante on any team, and I have Timo Werner, who is faster than 10 of cheetahs put together, there is no reason for me to play possession football. If I have Zuma, who we know Zuma has mental lapses, but he is fast like a bullet. And you put Thiago Silva beside him with his experience, and you go out and bring in a Ben Chilwell. You should be expecting high octane football. I expect Chelsea to come out at the start of the whistle and just go all guns blazing. We don't see that. And that makes me question now, is it that Lampard thinks he knows the pieces that he wants, but doesn't know how to match the pieces of the puzzle for the type of football that he wants to play? And that's a big question for me.
Yeah, and that's something that he has to figure out. But he preached accountability. He preached this idea of at least, in some of his pre-match press conference, he preached this idea that players have to take on their responsibility and deliver. But he still plays players who still start players who are not delivering. True. I mean, Timo Werner is struggling, and I get it. This idea that you may want to, play him until he get a kick on again. But no, man, there are other players. Run out Hudson-Odoi. In fact, yesterday he said when Hudson-Odoi came on, the game accelerated. The game got better. Then, brother, if Timo Werner play like a bug from week in and week out, why are you constantly starting him? So that's a question I don't understand. And you're preaching accountability. You then put Christian Pulisic on his weaker side. We saw him at Dortmund playing on the right, and he struggles sometimes on the right. When you play him on the left, he's able to beat people off a dribble and can be much more effective. I will give Frank Lampard a little bit of credit because Hakim Ziyech was missing, and I think Hakim Ziyech is a huge part of what they're trying to do. But you shouldn't need Hakim Ziyech to beat Bug Arsenal.
I was just about to say that. That's no credit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that don't
you
work.
shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need him.
I'm big up to Adrian Anthony. Adrian is saying Lampard tactics should be questioned. I completely agree. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Lampard, but we will see. And in the English Premier League,
and Junior, sorry, we know that the Russian don't have no patience,
Yeah, man, Russian roulette will be starting in about a week. The Russian don't play. So right now in the Premier League, Liverpool, the big bad Liverpool, is at the top at the summit where they belong on 32 points with a plus 17 goal difference. Everton, the team that we thought was skidding and sliding, they're back up in the second spot on 29 points after 15 games played. Leicester City are on 28 points. Manchester United is on 27. Tottenham is on 26. Man City is at 26. Aston Villa is at 25. I'm going this far just to say Chelsea is on 25 points. And one of the hosts of Ball Chat deserve $50. The one them called Junior pick Arsenal and Chelsea to finish in the top 3. I deserve $50. I will never ever do that again. So that's where we are in the English Premier League. Benton, the last show for the year now. It's the last show for the year. You realize that?
Yes, the last one for the year.
Next week and this week, this week, Christmas week, we're going off the cuff. Is my face alone on the scene on screen. By the way, it's my brand new hoodie we get for Christmas, Rocksteady University. So big up to Rocksteady University. So we're going to get our shirts soon from Rocksteady University. So look out for that. But yeah, it's the last show for the year, Benton. I'm gonna put you on the spot. This is unplanned because again, it's the inmate running the show right now. What has been your most shocking thing this year in football? Just right off the top of your head, in the sport. What is one of the things one of your highlights? Not shocking. What's one of your highlights for this year?
And I guess in a couple of weeks we'll do our major year in review.
Yes.
Um, highlights. Wow, highlights.
Okay.
There are probably a couple of things. That one probably is just what's going on at Barcelona. It's what's going on at Barcelona. How pathetic Barcelona is. Barcelona is akin to Manchester United. It's worse than Manchester United. Barcelona is poorly run, financially in debt. I mean, they owe so much money they can't even buy bread. I mean, Barcelona, if the roof is leaking right now, we don't even know what. And also another thing, Barcelona transfer Pjanic and Arthur in a swap deal to Juventus to offset the books. That's the only reason why they made, because it was the accounting to make the numbers look good. So Barcelona, what's going on with Barcelona is the most shocking thing. And it's also a reminder how good governance of a club is essential. It doesn't matter how big the club is, but any club can turn into party shop, aka poorly run. So Barcelona, and shockingly, also how Southampton is doing quite well. We don't want to talk so early, but shocking how Southampton is doing quite well.
Yeah, you have Barcelona and Southampton. For me, the most shocking thing for me is the recovery, the ongoing recovery from the pandemic, and the officials finding a way for football to play during the pandemic. I predicted that football probably wasn't even going to be playing this year, and my prediction was rooted in owners, chairmans, and everybody being selfish and not wanting football to play if they can't maximize the revenue or the income from ticket sales. So my hats off to all the officials out there that are finding a way to play football during the pandemic, giving us the entertainment that we love and crave. And we learned earlier this year how much football meant to us when we didn't have any football playing on the weekend. So hats off to them. That to me, that I'm shocked that we're still playing football. We're even still playing football, even with a new strain of the virus out there. They're still finding a way to keep players healthy and starting to roll back fans in seemingly in a healthy fashion. So my hats off to them. Hopefully they can set an example for the world over to say, let's find some way to get back to normalcy in a good way. And I'm hoping that they're doing it the right way, because on the surface it looks like that. Big up Crime Minister. Crime Minister says, big up Ball Chat family. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Winter Festival. Big up Crime Minister. Big up yourself every time. Anybody else?
And also one more surprising thing for me. You see now you get me started. One more surprising thing is Arsenal paying, continue to pay Ozil and not playing him. I mean, one of the highest wage on the books, and they continue to pay this guy. The whole thing with, theoretically, some say it's affiliated with this China decision and the Uyghur thing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But Arsenal Football Club needs to figure this out and figure it out fast.
Why are you twisting the knife?
Yes, it's just shocking to me. Like, you pay somebody so much money and him not even a player.
You see, people, this is what I have to deal with every week on Ball Chat Podcast. For today's show, the first hour, I asked Ben, I said, Benton, is it that Arsenal won the game or Chelsea lost the game? And Benton said Arsenal won the game. Thankfully, I'm not an Arsenal fan, because if I was an Arsenal fan, I would have felt like, finally, Benton is taking the knife out of my back. And what does Benton do at the end of the show? Stick the knife into a new place and start twisting. Arsenal fans, I tried. I'm sorry. Why, Benton, you're wicked to the people, man?
No, but it just doesn't make any sense. They need to figure this out and solve it soon, because it cannot continue like this. You're getting paid. It's like we go to our place of employment and we're getting the highest salary and we're not doing anything, Bridget. We just pay a mascot, pay the ground staff, and pay the the mascot salary. I mean,
Yep.
come on, no man, that something needs, and I hope adults will finally step up and resolve this issue with Ozil. It cannot continue like this at Arsenal.
True, true, true. So, Arsenal fans, hang in there. It's almost over. The year is over. The crazy year. But I just want everybody to realize and understand that Ball Chat, we were here with you every week. Even in the Christmas break, Camon is on vacation. She's on her sabbatical. Chelsea get them head kickoff. So Camon definitely probably won't even show up till obviously next year. But she might be even missing next week. And we don't know what's going to happen next week. So, Benton, big up yourself. All the Ball Chat family, big up on yourself every time. The listeners out there that has stuck it out with us throughout the year, we stuck it out together. 2020 has been a great year in growth for Ball Chat, but it's been one of those weird years for the world. So it's kind of with mixed feelings, I'm saying, looking at 2020. And while we sign off 2020, Benton, you have any, we're going to do our year in review, but looking into the start of the 2021 season next week, what are you looking forward to about that?
More highlighting some of the Jamaican players. We have to start giving more video of players, young and upcoming players. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to more ladies getting involved and joining the discussion, because I one bag of highly back man them around here. Big up yourself, DT. Big up yourself, Prime Minister. We want the ladies who support these teams to step forward. Tired of the highly back man them. And so I'm looking forward to that, because more and more ladies have expressed interest and love in Ball Chat. So that's what I'm looking for. Just appreciate this game that has been giving us so much joy, so much entertainment, so much interaction. So many friends. This game, has provided to me, because some of the best friends I have in my life right now, we met on a football field. And I give thanks for that. So, yeah, man, just looking forward to more like that. And looking forward to getting back on the field and kicking the ball around again.
See, that's a Ball Chat family. Belated Merry Christmas. An early Happy New Year. We're going to make it 2021. Going to be a great year for everybody. This is Ball Chat Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast, on Twitter at Ball Chat 1. On Facebook at Ball Chat. You can also email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. The full episodes are available. You can watch it in a video format on our YouTube page or on our Twitch page. And you can also listen to the audio version on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. I'm missing another one. What's the other one, Benton?
Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever but I want to ask you, do you think Chelsea going to beat Aston Villa tomorrow?
They're going to beat the brakes off Aston Villa tomorrow. Come on, that's my Christmas gift to you. Chelsea going to beat the brakes off of Aston Villa tomorrow. We didn't do any previews today, but Chelsea going to beat, I can promise you guys this. Timo Werner is going to score and probably score multiple goals. I'll watch him though play tomorrow.
Yeah, what a bangarang if them lose. Jeez.
Ball Chat will be back next week, people. We'll talk to you next year. It's fun. Big up on yourself. Hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend. Tell them to log on. If you know a female that loves football and wants to take part in the show, email us. We have a female-only show coming up real soon, like Benton done. Let the puss out the bag. So I'm going to say it again. Females, if you are welcome, so let us know. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Benton, I eat that,
Bless up, family.
Next week, the host step back over. The asylum is now back in your care, all right?